The horror began on August 6, 1897, when the merchant ship Demeter ran aground in England. Among the bloody debris found by the police is the terrifying logbook kept by its captain, Elliot. 4 weeks earlier, the Demeter called at Varna, Bulgaria, to collect goods for transport to London. The heavy cargo, consisting of several large wooden boxes, is transported by locals from Romania. However, they refuse to load the cargo, insisting that they must leave the area before sunset. One of them hands Quartermaster Wojciech and another crew member, Olgarin, a large sum of money and wishes the Demeter a safe journey before leaving with the others. Clemens, a doctor trained at Cambridge University, learns that the ship is looking for crew members. He tries to convince the crew that his medical skills and knowledge of astronomy would make him a valuable asset. Wojciech rejects him and hires an older man instead, but while helping to load one of the crates, the new employee, frightened upon recognizing the dragon emblem, accidentally releases the tackling rope, causing the crate to fall. Clemens witnesses the accident and saves Toby, Elliot's grandson, from being crushed by the loose crate. The new employee declares that the dragon emblem is a bad omen and leaves. Out of gratitude for Clemens's intervention, Elliot hires him as his replacement. In the night of the vastness of the sea, the atmosphere is festive and the carefree crew gets to know each other better, when suddenly all the animals panic simultaneously. One of the crates falls and opens into the hold. Clemens investigates and surprisingly finds a woman buried in dirt inside. She is barely alive, and to treat what he believes to be an infection, he is giving her blood transfusions. Later, in the dark night of the Aegean Sea, Clemens and Olgarin see a mysterious figure in the fog on the deck. They are certain that there is a strange presence on the boat. The following night is chilling. All the animals on board the ship are killed in pools of blood, including the ship's dog, Huckleberry. The crew, panicked and nervous, fearing an outbreak of rabies, threw them all overboard. As he walks on deck, intrigued by the situation, Petrovsky sees the hold grate shattered. He sees a figure slitting his throat, catches him, and feeds on his hot hemoglobin. Anna, the stowaway, wakes up, and scared, she warns them about a monster from Transylvania, a creature that feeds on human blood. She claims that Dracula is already aboard the ship and searching for food, revealing several bite marks on his body. Sure enough, Dracula haunts the ship and hunts the crew during the night. Biting Olgarin and turning him into a vampiric slave. The crew is overwhelmed by the events, but temporarily manages to keep him tied to a table. While the remaining men search the ship for the vampire, he breaks free and, seeing Toby in the hold, begins chasing the boy, who ends up trapped in the captain's quarters, along with Dracula. Clemens will be attacked by Olgarin, his eyes completely white. While the crew hammers on the door with all their force in an attempt to save him, Toby is sneakily bitten by Dracula. The monster will once again manage to escape. On the 1st of August, just before dawn, the vampiric Olgarin, who had been tied to the mast by the crew, suddenly caught fire as soon as the rays of sunrise touched him. In the thick fog of the night, the cook Joseph cowardly fled using a boat, leaving the others to feed the monster. He will be trapped because Dracula flies and catches him without the slightest difficulty. Despite his grandfather's blood transfusions, Toby dies from his injury and is wrapped in parts of sailcloth for his marine burial. During the funeral, the captain thinks he sees him moving. He unwraps it, but the vampiric suddenly attacks and catches fire in the sun before Clemens throws it into the ocean. With only 1 day left of London, the remaining crew wants to destroy the ship and drown Dracula to prevent him from wreaking havoc once they arrive in London. In the macabre isolation of the foggy and thick night, the vampire threat lurks. Dracula drops Abrams into the hold and drains him of his blood. Takes care of Captain Elliot. The inevitable confrontation takes place with Clemens with the support of Anna. Clemens saves her by hitting Dracula with an axe. And she manages to crush the vampire with part of the pole. Anna and Clemens manage to leave the ship thinking the monster is dead. But before sinking, the ship ends up stranded on the coast, allowing Dracula to push the mast away from his body, roaring in victory. Then, floating on the debris, Anna reveals to Clemens that she is becoming a vampire. Blood transfusions only delay the inevitable. As the day dawns and not wanting to become a monster, Anna voluntarily immolates herself at sunrise. Arriving in London, Clemens goes to a local tavern where he draws Anna's portrait in his notebook. Suddenly, he hears the Demeter crew's strike signal and then sees Dracula mocking him. As he leaves the pub, Clemens swears to kill Dracula and send him back to hell. Thank you for enjoying this exciting film with us. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell. See you soon on Storytime.